Now I can't just say good evening here in Canada because my guest this evening is from Australia. So it's more or less good afternoon to those in Australia and to the other side of the world. So thank you everyone for tuning in to Jess TV, Jess FM. We are also live through the NCG television in Italy. We are on through ROKU TV 101. You can find us there. Amazing. Like we're just all over the place, which is fabulous. Please go back, share the stream, like, subscribe to Jess TV on YouTube and also the Underground Radio C Facebook page. That is also where we're streaming. This evening with me, we have Trish Springsteen. Trish, by all means, if this is live, you can put this live on your platforms anytime. Feel free to share, do clips, whatever you want. Those friends of yours that are watching, please like and share as well. That would be fabulous. So with me again, Trish Springsteen, welcome to the show. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, because you are not just, someone that talks about introverts and empowerment of being an introvert, things like that, or businesses, but you do mentorship. You are a speaker, coach, and an author. So just kind of dive into a little bit on what you do overall.
Thanks, CARI, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here. It's just sort of blows my mind that I can be speaking with people right around the world, and I'm speaking with CARI from Canada. I think that's just awesome. What do I do? Wow, I like to work with my clients to help them to be the unicorn in their business. And that means I work with them to have the confidence and self-belief, to own their uniqueness, and then step up and share it and speak it. And that could be being visible, could be speaking, could be doing videos, it could be getting their book done. And my two favorite words are repurpose and leverage. And it's all about helping them to find the gold nuggets in their business, to repurpose and leverage that content so they don't get overwhelmed. Because if you want to be seen, you need to be out there. And some people may see you on video, but some people don't watch video. They may, I don't know why not, but hey, some people don't watch video, so maybe they just like to read. So you need to be looking at maybe having a book. And I show you how you can do that without reinventing the wheel. So that's what I do. I help you with all those sorts of things because I guess what I'm doing is sharing my life experience and my expertise and everything that I work with my clients. If I'm mentoring them or if I'm speaking, are things that I've been through, things that I've learned in my journey and my stories.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about a little bit about your journey and how you got into what you're doing. Because obviously it's not just something that you just woke up going, oh, I'm going to do this today. We generally go through some type of a journey that leads us into what we are doing, and then we create, this business around it. So tell us this journey, this magical journey that lead people into unicorns.
Absolutely. And no, I definitely didn't wake up one day and think, oh, I'm just going to have a business. I'm going to get out there and speak. Oh, no. Because if we go back to the beginning of my journey, way back in the Jurassic period, and that's a long, long time ago,
Wow.
people, when I left school, the concept of my speaking, the concept of my owning my own business just never passed my mind. I'm an introvert. And at that stage, not only was I an introvert, but an extremely shy introvert. And if you spoke with anybody who knew me in that Jurassic period, they would roll around on the floor at the concept that Trish was doing exactly what she's doing now, that she even wrote any books, that she gets up and speaks and MCs and helps other people do that. That was just like way up there. So how did I get from that Jurassic person to the person here who is still an introvert, but not quite shy, who loves to be the unicorn and owns her uniqueness? as I said to CARI, we got 2 years, but I'm going to condense it down just a little bit, because I
Well,
don't.
if it was back in the Jurassic, then we have like millions of years. So
Yeah, millions of years. Well, I really will condense it down.
okay.
There were some pivotal moments in my life. When I left school, I was going to be a librarian, because my concept of a librarian, because I love reading, and I thought I could just hang out in the library, read, and maybe do bits and things. And then I found out that librarians had to do a hell of a lot more than just read.
Oh.
It was really devastating. I can tell you, CARI, I was devastated. I'm an introvert. You want me to do that? So cross that one off. Then I decided I was going to be a medical records administrator, because I could hide away down in the basement of the hospital and code and wouldn't have to speak to people. Sounded pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Problem was, by the time I went away and studied and came back to my hometown, there were no jobs.
Oh no.
Yeah. So cross that one off. So you know what? I ended up being a travel agent. Now,
Oh.
can you actually conceive that an introvert who doesn't want to speak to people is a travel agent?
Oh
I
my
just thought,
goodness.
I love travel. I could just zoom by. I could just answer the phone. No, I had to go to network meetings and talk to people. Now, my concept of a network meeting at that time was to walk in, find the tallest pot plant, the exit sign, and the clock. And I would hide behind the pot plant, watch the clock, 10 minutes, and I thought, I've done my networking. And I was out of there. I hadn't spoken to a single person, but I thought I was really doing great as a networker.
You showed up. You showed up. And I have to say, sometimes even just showing up to an event can be a lot for some people. So I'll give you a lot of credit for just showing up.
I thought it was massive. I mean, hey, this was pretty good. Anyway, fast forward. It wasn't actually, I was reminded not too long ago that I actually did try and start a business. And it was, I'd been married 3 years, and I was pregnant and just had my first baby. And I thought this was the best time to start a business.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, yeah, right. I learned a lot of things not to do. Firstly, because I love reading and I was in travel, I thought, I'll just combine the travel agency with a bookshop. This is going to make me millions. I can do what I love. I've got my baby. I stick her in the back of the shop, and we're doing well. As you may have guessed, since I'm still not in that business, it didn't work too well.
Oh, okay.
And I guess that's what stopped me for a long time afterwards. I figured that I'd tried business and I wasn't a good business person. So
okay, but why didn't the travel agency stuff work for you? I mean, you're already traveling around and trying different things. So what was it about it that you decided that it wasn't for you?
Because I picked the wrong place to put it, the wrong time to start, with a new mortgage and a new baby. And I combined it with a bookshop, which at that time was pretty that was pretty avant-garde. And the bookshop was a science fiction and fantasy bookstore.
Oh, because I was going to say those two would be good together, because you could do books on travel and then, but okay.
I thought I was the arts pants. I could sit there and read my science fiction. Oh, you want to go somewhere? Yeah, I could help that. They've just got to walk in the door. I wasn't networking any. I still wasn't networking, CARI.
That's true. Okay, that's true.
Okay, I learned a lot from that. I learned an awful lot from that, which I brought when I finally did open my business. I spent the next few years working in corporate, doing pretty well, but delegating. Now, what broke the ice, so to speak, was I moved from my hometown, which was Canberra, which is the capital of Australia, and I moved up to Brisbane in Queensland. And we were working. I had 2 kids. We were working. I had home, and I was studying full time. And I thought, well, we're not making any friends. So I spoke to an acquaintance of mine and said, I need to go and make some friends. Now, introvert, this was a big, big thing. So he said to me, there's this great club. You can go to this club and you'll make friends. So big, deep breath. And what I call 60 seconds of insane courage now. It's one of my little processes that I do. Waltzed into this club and then nearly died on the spot, because it was a Toastmasters club and they want you to speak.
Oh, no.
I can tell you, if my friend had been in reach of my hands at that moment, I probably would have been behind bars right now. I was not impressed. The funny thing is, CARI, I stayed and I made a lot of friends. And what it did was sort of helped me start to believe in myself. And that's probably where my journey as a speaker started. Met a really great friend. She and I decided after a few years that we wanted to start a business because we were doing a lot of training, and we looked at each other one day and said, you know what, we should get paid for this. So we both took a deep breath and started our business. And my business started in 2006. It has morphed and changed since then.
Okay.
During that journey, I've had a few aha moments that have helped me to be who I am. And this is why I'm passionate about people sharing stories, because my story isn't a huge one. Yeah, I didn't climb mountains. I didn't lose all my money in a business. I haven't had adversity that I look out and I see so many people who have so many fantastic stories. So for a very long time, I didn't think I had a story or a message that I could share.
Everyone does.
Yeah, and that's what I discovered, because along that journey, I had so many great mentors and like-minded people who believed in me. And that was when I started to believe in who I was and own who I was. And I guess part of that journey, there are a few aha moments. I will share a bit of a personal one. And this is trigger warning, so I will warn people if there's a bit of a trigger warning in it. In 2007, we lost our son, Craig, to suicide.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
That was a major event in my life. A couple of things came out of that. I realized that you never know what your next day is going to bring. So I made a vow that each day that comes, my husband and I will reach out and grab. So I approach each day with opportunities. There's so much joy in the world. There is so much fun to be had, and there's so many opportunities for people to own who they are and to be unique. So that is something that I've brought forward. The other thing that came from that was I realized that I had to do the eulogy at his funeral. You don't get a second chance.
Yeah.
And I did that. And people asked me afterwards, how did I manage that? And it was many months later when I was processing that I realized that being able to have speaking skills and knowing how to harness emotion and still be there was what got me through that. And that's why I'm so freaking passionate about speaking skills, because I believe speaking and communication is the foundation of everything you want to do in your life. If you know that you can speak, if you know that you can get up and speak to 10, 15, 100 people, that gives you the confidence to do what you want to do, to open your business, to take on new things, to be an advocate. You have that confidence. So that's why I speak. And if you know that you can answer questions impromptu. So that was the impetus of me growing into who I was. And that's why one of my taglines is that I believe in you until you believe in yourself. Because when you do believe in yourself, it's empowering. For those who are really perceptive, you may have noticed that I love purple.
A little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm really subtle about it. And it amazes me how many people are so perceptive in this world. But I love purple. And when I started to believe in myself and realized I had the stories, and realized I had that, I realized I could be who I want to be. I could own my uniqueness, and it was absolutely okay. And it took a lot of courage, people, to really, because I'd always loved purple, but I've had up to then conformed to conformity.
Right.
Because I thought, okay,
we know what that's about. Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, you're in a business, you're working in a corporation. Yeah. I mean, the closest I came to non-conformity when I was in my early age was to have green nail polish once when I went for an interview. After I got the job, they said, we nearly didn't give it to you because you had green nail polish. And that sort of stuck in my mind for a long time. And I thought, if I want to be who I am, which I did, then those people who can't see behind my brightness, my color, my eccentric quirkiness, they are two things. Either they're not people that are going to relate with me, or they're people that really need to relate with me because they really need to see that it's quite empowering. It's a solid foundation when you can step up and say, this is who I am and I'm authentic. Now, I've had people try and pull me down. I've had people in speakers bureaus tell me they can't get me any speaking gigs because I'm too bright, I'm too colourful, corporations wouldn't want me. They wanted me to change the colour of my hair, stop wearing trousers, wear dresses, wear high heels. And I said to them, excuse me, but I talk about being authentic and you want me to change my whole pitch? I don't quite see where authenticity is in there.
That's the thing, because it had been this whole professionalism, right? When you know, probably when you're growing up, it was always like business was always the suit and tie and very neat and tidy. And that's just how it was in the professional world. And then now through the years, that's what actually brings, you know, like you said, it's your authentic self to be quirky and to have your different colors. And I think that's actually what makes people want to get to know you a little bit more and find out the reasoning, maybe not the reasoning behind why you like purple or why you do this, but just because it's more intriguing. That's what I think draws people closer to someone that looks a little bit different. Because I find if there's someone on the street that maybe would look some like, you know, close to you, like had the purple hair, people will look automatically because it's not something you see every day. Now it's getting a little bit more, but you know, some people like I would like, oh wow, look at her hair is purple, it's cool, you know, or because I love the color pink, so pink or whatever. So it kind of draws my attention because I'm like, oh wow, because I never think like I don't think of doing something like that. Like I'm not at maybe that stage yet, but to me it is. It draws that attention, and hopefully, you know, it's that good attention that you can go, hey, yeah, look at me. So you have to have some confidence being able to show that off and be who you are 100%. So good for you.
Absolutely. I'll let you into a secret, people. One of the byproducts of being colourful like I am and owning my purpleness and owning my uniqueness, I'm an introvert still. And, you know, it takes me quite a lot. I do a lot of networking now. I do a lot of speaking. I'm appear on, you know, shows like this. And I can tell you, CARI, you know, the 5 minutes before I came on, I'm going, you can do this.
And then sound check, I'm like, are you going to be okay?
And I go,
I'm like, are you excited? Because I'm excited. I want my guests to be excited. And then we just have fun, right? That's what it's about. Yeah.
Look, it's what I call 60 seconds of insane courage. And I share this with all my mentoring clients. It's 20 seconds to acknowledge that voice in your head is saying, you can't do this. Who do you think you are? You're not good enough. People are going to find out that you're a fraud. They're not going to like you. And then 20 seconds, take a deep breath and say, I am awesome. I am good enough. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to say goodbye, imposter syndrome. And then 20 seconds to smile. Just smile and step up and speak. Hit that switch, say yes to that opportunity, and go out and share who you are. And that's my 60 seconds of insane courage.
That's awesome.
One of the other,
very cool. Good stuff.
And the byproduct of being all this quirkiness, I was traveling with my mum. We were actually over in America. And she turned to me one day and she said, how come everybody talks to you? She said, yeah, she knows I'm an introvert. And I'm, you know, it takes a lot for me to initiate a conversation. Yeah. I mean, I know how to harness my energy. I know how to do all that. But, you know, I'm quite happy to sit back and watch the world. And she said, how come everybody talks to you? And I said, Mum, there is a secret to having purple hair and wearing purple. I don't have to start conversations. People smile at me in the street and I'll smile back and there's joy going along. People will stop and say, oh, wow, I love your hair. And I can start a conversation. I can walk into a network meeting and people will remember that person. They may not always remember my name, but they remember meeting me. And I've had people come to me 2-3 years later and say, I remember you. You were that purple lady and you had that great presentation you did. And now I'm ready to come and work with you. So there is a byproduct. It's very subtle about it gets me through. As an introvert, it works beautifully for me. Just don't tell everybody. They'll all want to do it.
Your secret is safe with me and all of my audience that's watching, right? Right, guys? No one say anything. Okay? Keep it on the down low.
And that's why I love uniqueness. And that's why I talk about people owning their uniqueness. Because when I started my business, I realized that at that time when I started, I was doing a lot of corporate training, and I'm a speaker coach. That's predominantly my expertise is speaker coach and being able to give feedback, performance feedback, awesome feedback. But I'm a jack of all trades in books, because I know how to write a book. I know how to publish a book. I've self-published, published. I know everything that can go wrong with writing a book. I know how to facilitate an anthology. I know how to put chapters into a book. And I know how to do video. I've done all these things in my business, and I've learned how to do blogs. I've learned how to repurpose and leverage. So I'm a jack of all trades in that, a generalist and a specialist in being able to speak. But the reason for being able to do that, I realized that there's a hell of a lot of other speaker coaches out there.
Yeah.
And people, whatever business you're in, even if it's a professional career in corporate or a business, organizations, there are a lot of people doing the same thing. You go for an interview, there's a lot of people in those interviews who are just as well qualified as you. That means you need to own your uniqueness.
Yes.
It means you need to say, hey, this is who I am. This is my expertise. This is what I'm unique. This is my point that I can share with you that makes me stand out. Owning it and accepting it is your first step. Your second step is having the courage to say, hey, this is me. And if you want a business and you want to stand out, you need to work along that journey to do that. And that's where my passion comes. That's why I say help you to be the unicorn in your business, because unicorns are really unique.
They are very unique.
And I love
They're amazing. They are. And they stand out as well. Tell us some of your, or one of your more, I want to say something that, I know you probably work with a lot of clients. So maybe one of their success stories that really stands out to you, that you're just so proud of them.
Okay, there's two. One is this lady, and she was 77, around 70s, and she had written a book.
Okay.
And she wanted to do more with her book than just have the book. She wanted to reach out to people. And she had a beautiful process that she used. And she didn't know what to do. And she didn't like doing videos. She just liked a book. She has had this beautiful book. And she has the most beautiful voice. She's a great singer, almost opera singer. And she loved singing. So I worked with her over 12 months, and she's a raving fan of mine. She kept coming back and saying, can I do some more? I want to do some more. And she speaks about me everywhere. And people, this is what happens if you put 300% into your work with your clients, and you're genuine, and you work with them, and they get to where they need to be, and you celebrate that, then you have clients, you have friends, you have people that you've mentored for life. I was so excited with her. She ended up having online courses. She did workshops. She did videos where she incorporated her singing at the beginning of the videos. At the end of that, she had a business. And more than that, she had grown into who she was and owned her uniqueness, and realized her singing gave her a way to stand out from everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
And she got the confidence to be able to do that.
Aww.
So that's one that I absolutely love.
And she was 77.
Yeah. And so it's never too late, people.
No.
I mean, I love every person that I work with. They've all got stories like that. Now, this one is more closer to my heart, because this is my mother. This is about my mother.
Aww.
My mum is this year 88. Last year, she was 87, and she published her first book. And I am so freaking proud of her. It's something she'd spent all those years saying, I wish I could, I want to. She tried writing stories. She tried sending them to people. They weren't getting anywhere. And last year, well, just before the last year, because it took a little while, she was writing and putting her stories together. And I said, that's it, Mum. We're publishing this freaking book. I don't care if no one buys it. The family's going to love it. She said, I don't know that the family's going to love it. I said, the family's going to love it. So it's called The Tail's End, and it's a book of short stories and some of a little bit of her memoirs. And she put some stories from my kids in there. And it's a beautiful anthology. So she published it, and she's got a speaking gig out of it. People love it. So this year in November, it's next month, she has just finished her second book, which is a romance novella.
Ooh.
And it's called The Perfect Stranger.
Ooh.
And the beta reader's already asking her if she's doing a sequel. And this is loosely based, and I'm not even going to define how loosely based it is.
Okay, kids, close your ears.
How she met my stepfather. So it's a great story. It's a great story. Yeah, there's murder in it. There's all sorts of things in it.
Well, I don't want to know that. It's not a true story, right? Like
no, well, a little bit of it. It's loosely based.
But she's not in jail though, right?
No, she didn't murder anyone. It's a side character in the book.
Okay. All right. Oh,
but I'm so proud of that, because this is my mother at 88 who spent so many years saying, I want to, I wish to, and I share her story. I mean, not just because I'm proud of her, and I'm share the story of my other clients. I share the story of all my clients because I want people to realize that when you do take 60 seconds of insane courage, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, because I can tell you extroverts have just as many issues as introverts. And it doesn't matter where you are on that. When you believe in who you are, and when you just take that confidence and take that first step on your journey, it doesn't matter if it all works out, or it does work out. Each step is a lesson. And if you don't move forward on that journey, you're going to stagnate. And as I said with my son, I know that you never know what the next day is going to be. So don't say, I'll do it tomorrow. Don't say, I'll do it next year or maybe later.
Mm-hmm.
Do it now.
Yes.
Just do it now. Take imperfect action. I had a mentoring client who'd been writing her book for 8 years because she wanted it to be perfect. Oh. She kept rewriting it every year. And I just grabbed her one day and I said, just publish the thing. It doesn't matter.
How long was it? How long was it though? Was it a
very long book?
Oh.
It's a very long book.
And she rewrote it like every year?
8 years of polishing it, rewriting it. And I said, publish it. Yeah. You can always fix it later. But if you don't, you will never. Perfection. You'll never get perfection.
No.
Because it will never be perfect.
Yeah. I'm the same. I'm like, I was talking to one of my good friends the other day, and we were kind of talking about the perfection stuff too. And I said, I am one where, we're doing up some posters for business and things like that. And I said, sometimes I have an issue where I will do up my posters for my show. And of course, like I always send them to the person coming on the show, and I get them to look it over, make sure it's what they like. But at the very beginning, I remember it was really bad. I would spend hours and hours and hours trying to perfect my posters. And I'm like, this is getting to be work. And I thought, I want it to be more fun and flowing. And I thought, I tend to be such a perfectionism. Like I just want to have it just so every single time. But I had to really step out of that and go, you know what? I'm human. What really matters is that my client is happy. So when I send it off to the person that's coming on for their interview, if they're happy with it, then that just makes my heart smile. And then I go, okay, then that's what really is what it's about, right? So it's not making me happy, it's making my clients happy. And if they are really, really happy, then I'm in the end happy with that. So we all are happy, right?
Absolutely. I used to have that. I used to be and then I realized that I was actually just using it as an excuse for procrastination.
Oh, right. It can turn into that. It's bad.
Absolutely, because it means, oh, it's not perfect, so I can't publish this yet. Oh, it's not perfect. It'll be okay. I can do that later. And so
Mhm.
I realized I have to stop the procrastination, because I am a big procrastinator. I get sidetracked by brilliant, bright, shiny objects. And it's amazing where that can take you down. But what I realized, and one of the things I talk about, is saying no to imposter syndrome. And
Yeah.
one of the things I say that you can use, and there's 2, 3 things I use when imposter syndrome, which is that thing that says, hey, people are going to find out that you really don't know what you're talking about. And
Right.
who are you to think that you can speak and on a stage? You're not good enough. And it doesn't matter how many great things you've been doing, and it can suddenly bite you. If something goes a little bit wrong, then the imposter syndrome goes, ooh, I can come in now. The things that I do about that, and this came out of my shiny objects, and that is that there's 3 things I can do. One is, when you believe in yourself, absolutely believe, which is what I've been sharing with you, it is a
Yeah.
solid foundation that gives you something to build on. And imposter
Mhm.
syndrome can't break that. Because if you believe in yourself, how can you even listen to something that says you're not good enough? Because you've worked on that, and you know that who you are, and own who you are. The second thing that I look at are awards. Now, many people don't enter awards because they don't, they might get nominated, they don't go very far, because I let that imposter syndrome say, well, I'm not good enough to be nominated for an award. I'm not good enough to do that. The thing about awards is they're third-party credibility, because when you
Mm.
enter awards, and most of them, some are different, but most of them are, your nomination is being judged by a
Yeah.
panel of people who don't know you.
Mhm.
So if there's 3 things about awards. If someone nominates you, you need to stop and not do what I nearly did. I'll share a quick story. I
Okay.
got nominated for an Inspirational Woman Award. Now, I looked at it and I thought, I'm not inspirational.
I would be the same. I'm like, what?
I was like, what? I'm not inspirational. Inspirational people are doing all those great things of charities and who've climbed mountains and
Right.
wow, they're all
Done
inspirational.
incredible things. Like,
I'm a normal person. I teach people how to speak. I mentor people. I help them be unique. I'm not
right.
inspirational. So I did what I usually do and procrastinated.
Oh,
And
good.
oh yeah, this is good. I'll just not fill out the nomination form. I won't go any further. And it got up to about 5 hours before the nominations closed. Now,
Oh,
people,
no.
do not do this. People out there, do not do what I'm telling you, because don't
No,
do what
no.
I do. This is what you should not be doing this. You should be doing something a hell of a lot quicker than that. Because
Yeah.
at around about 5 hours, I realized that I had to slap myself across it, because I realized I tell people to have the confidence in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I realized that I was being extremely arrogant to negate someone's thought that I was inspirational. Who
Yeah.
was I to tell them that their thinking was wrong? I might not realize it, but they obviously saw something. So I thought, okay, I have to do this. I have to live up to what I say. So I sat down and did all this. About 30 minutes to go, I hit the button and sent it off. And I thought, okay, I've ticked the box. I've accepted the nomination. I can relax. Then I made finalists, and they
Oh,
called me in,
no.
and they wanted to, and I had to actually face an interview. You don't always face an interview, but I had to face an interview of judges. So I went in there, answered all this, and then they said, you're finalist, and this is the award night. And I wasn't going to go, because people, I had this fixation in my mind.
Of course.
Yes, I got nominated, but I was not inspirational. I was not going to win. Why the place am I going to put a freaking long dress on and go there? I mean, I'm absolutely delighted that the person who's going to win is winning. I'm delighted. But hey, and my friends dragged me there. Honestly, it did. They took them about a week or so saying, you've got to go, Trish. You've got to go, Trish. You're nominated. You're finalist. You have to go. Do you know how it happened? You've got people nagging in the back of your freaking head all the time. You have to say yes, because otherwise you just go bonkers.
Well, the
So
thing is, though, nowadays, someone can accept it on your behalf too.
I didn't even think about that. I just no, that wasn't a choice. My friends, my mentoring group, and my accountability group just said you're going.
Yeah.
So I did. Now, you, even though I'm an introvert, I'm not often lost for words because I know how to speak. I can basically, very truthfully say, I can speak about any subject for any given moment of time, at given any given notice to any amount of people, because that's my experience and I know what I can do.
Hmm.
I won the freaking award, Kerry. They're calling me up to win an Inspirational Woman Award, and I'm looking at these
Amazing.
other people there, and I was absolutely speechless. I was shocked.
And you were inspirational.
Well, yes, what I have to do. And that was an aha moment. And I wanted to share this because we never see ourselves as others do. And I had to accept. And from then on, when people say I have inspired them, or they say that you've changed my life, or you've done this for me, or it was so great to hear those few words I needed, I now accept with gratitude. I just
Yeah.
say thank you. I
Oh.
accept that that's what they see. And whether I see it or not, I cannot be arrogant. I cannot be so nasty as to say you're wrong, because who am I to tell people how to think?
Hmm.
So I learnt from that aha moment that I accept with gratitude. I don't see the impact that I have on people. And so I need to just accept that. And so when imposter syndrome comes in, I reach behind and look at some of the awards I've won, because I've won a worldwide award for mentoring, and I won a bronze worldwide award for female entrepreneur.
Oh,
So
wow.
when imposter syndrome says I'm not good enough, I turn around and I look at my awards, because those awards are third-party credibility given by people who did not know me. And
Hmm.
so they felt that I was good enough. And even if I've been nominated or I've made a finalist in an award, even if I don't win, I look at that and think, someone thought I was good enough to be nominated. Someone thought
Yeah.
that what my thing was, I was good enough to be finalist in a category of people who are so fantastic, but they put me in that category. So I say to imposter syndrome, if that's what's happening, then you are not being listened to.
Hmm.
And the third thing I say about imposter syndrome is get testimonials. People will give you testimonials for whatever you do. And when
Yeah.
imposter syndrome rears its head and you think you're not good enough, go and look at those testimonials, because those are from people who you've worked with,
Yeah.
and they've taken the time to write a testimonial or written a review to say, you changed my life in whatever minor way, in whatever way you did, you impacted them. And so you can just say, goodbye, imposter syndrome. It's
Hmm.
going to come back, because it does, and things don't quite
Yeah.
work out, because our life is not perfect.
Right. So
It's
this
perfect.
isn't something that's just one time it'll creep up on you. It's sometimes like even the most, the biggest movie stars or the biggest radio host or whatever, like it's going to pop up even on them. There are times when I'm just like, okay, it creeps up on me and I'm going, okay, no, 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 like have a fun show. It's going to be awesome. Things like that. And it's just one of those things that it can pop up on anyone, right? So it can happen. And like you said, sometimes it's just reminding yourself of why you're doing what you're doing, who it's for, yourself, for your client. But the greatest thing that everyone can have is a huge support system. I find that really helps. And it's just like, wow, it's just like, okay, just go get it. You can do it. You can do it. Right. So that's something that you are just like that. You're that big support system teaching everyone, okay, like you can do this. This is, and then you'll take everyone through the little steps on how to just make it a little bit easier and overcome it maybe a little bit faster than it just going, I'm coming at you.
Look,
So,
one of my mantras is, I believe in you until you believe in yourself. And that's the foundation of what I see as a mentor. I support you. I hold the mirror up for you to look in it. I ask you the difficult questions. I congratulate you when you rise, and I'm the safety net when things may not go so well. And then I push you off the cliff again.
You're fine.
But I'm always there for you.
I appreciate that. You're like the mother bird just pushing her kids out of the nest. That's good. We appreciate you. And you're inspirational. I just put it out there.
Thank you. I accept with gratitude your thoughts. But
Okay.
I wanted to share that because we don't own how good we are. We're so good. I mean, I remember talking to people about being authentic and owning how good you are. And I was explaining to them, I remember a presentation I did. It was a 30-minute presentation. And I was freaking awesome for 25 minutes of it. 5 minutes of it, I stumbled a bit and I didn't think I quite got my message across. Do you know what I remembered all the way home? The 5 minutes I wasn't any good. And I'm going, oh, what did I do? And then I sort of realized, you know what, there was 25 minutes that you were freaking brilliant. And if I spoke to anybody in that audience, they wouldn't even realize that there might have been 5 minutes when I was just awesome, but not brilliant.
Yeah.
And, you know, people, I always say to people, never apologize when you're doing presentations. Never apologize or worry if you forget what you're going to say or you're going to be saying something out of order, because 99% of the people in the audience don't know what you're going to say. They don't know who you are half the time until they've heard you speak, then they know how fabulous you are. And so they're all caught up in what you're doing. And it's only if you stumble and you tell them that they're going to know it. So own what you're doing and just have the confidence that people come to listen to you. They don't come to throw tomatoes, and no one has yet thrown any tomatoes at me. And I'm telling anybody out there, do not even try it, because, hey, you don't need to.
No.
But I know that people come to hear you.
That's right.
They wouldn't come if they didn't want to hear you. And
Absolutely.
every one of us has got a message to share.
To own it. That's what we're here for, right? To grow and to own it and be authentic and be that unicorn in the room and unicorn in that business. Thank you, Trish, for sharing all of your knowledge and your wonderful self with us. Can you please, I know it's on the screen where people can find you. Do you have another, like any other socials that you would like to share with us?
Oh, yes. Look, I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I also host a Get Known Be Seen web TV channel where I interview people as well. And yep, I'm even on Pinterest.
On Pinterest?
I
heard that's dangerous.
Oh, yes, Pinterest is interesting. But it's, it's what out in the top 3 search engines. So if you've got a business, you need to be on Pinterest as well. But you pick the one that's where your clients are. And
that's right. Yeah.
And honestly, if you just put Trish Springsteen and look for the purple lady, you're not going to miss me.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so very much, Trish, for coming on this Connected with CARI this evening. You are, well, I guess this afternoon over in Australia. You're amazing and wonderful. I appreciate all of your time. Thank you so very much. And for all your gems. And hopefully we'll see you soon. If you guys have any questions for Trish, go over, message her, go to her website, which is up there on her screen in her corner over there. And yeah, well, thank you so much, Trish.
You can make it on Facebook or LinkedIn, and I'm happy to.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So much. Thank you so much for allowing me to share some of my stories.
You're wonderful. They are incredible.